Yeah. So how important is your partner's debt if you so choose to get married?
Crucial. It's it's crucial because even though technically their debt doesn't become your debt as to where it's shown on your credit report, but if you're tied to that person, I feel like when you're married, you become one.
Mm.
Like you're one person, you're one entity, you're a team. So their debts are your debts, their strengths are your strengths, their weaknesses are your weaknesses, and vice versa. So if they're in debt, it's not going to just affect them; it's going to affect the household. If y'all living together and they owe $100,000 in student loans, if they're struggling to pay that back, so that means that's less money that they can help you out to pay another bill. That means you got to put more of your money to pay that bill. So then you're going to be struggling to pay this bill, that bill. So it's so their debt, their credit score, their credit report, all that stuff it affects you just as much because y'all are tied together, until death do you part, hopefully. So yeah, it's vital.
So do you think debt in and of itself can
Mhm.
be like enough of a reason for you not to marry somebody? Like, what's a crazy amount of debt? Because and by the way, student loans is debt. I don't think people realize that. Mentally, we put student loans like a separate
Mhm.
category. Student loans is debt.
It is.
So I
It
don't think
is.
people realize that, yeah, if your partner has, I don't know, like, do some people have like 15 grand, 20 grand in student debt, which I would be like, wow, that is
Right.
incredible. I can't even imagine that 20 to 30 grand
Mhm.
just paying that off probably until you're like 75 years old.
For your life, like it's a it's a lot. Like, and like you said, a lot of people don't mentally put that in their head that is debt too. Even though you're making those payments, any money that you owe to somebody, if you owe a debt, it's debt. And like a lot of people associate debt with such, it's a negative light and a dark cloud over that debt word. So they try to put their own definition on it. But if I owe you $10, I owe you a debt. I'm in debt for that $10, no matter how small it is, how big it is. So it's still a debt.